What's up, people? It's your boy Slide. In this video, I'm going to talk about retirement savings in the U.S. Here's a study. 67% of Americans say they'll outlive their retirement savings. Here's how many have saved nothing at all. Northwestern Mutual's 2018 Planning and Progress Study, which surveyed 2,003 adults, found that 78% of Americans say they're extremely or somewhat concerned about not having enough money for retirement. Another 66% believe that they'll outlive their retirement. Their concerns are valid. A shocking 21% of Americans have nothing at all saved for the future, and another 10% have less than $5,000 socked away for their golden years, the study found. Some respondents are making headway. A quarter report having $200,000 or more stashed away, while 16% have between $75,000 to $199,000. However, Northwestern Mutual found that overall Americans average $84,821 in retirement savings, which is far from enough. See, this is what you guys need to understand, okay? The quality of life in the United States is pretty much coming at a pricey end, okay? Most Americans do not have savings, okay? They don't have anything. They have nothing to save for. Like, what do they have that can sustain them, okay? The reason why this is happening because in many cases, many Americans in the older bracket now, I can say from 55 to 64, because that's when people usually retire. This age bracket, these people today are facing hard times due to poor planning or the cost of living increase. Let me go on poor planning. When it comes to the planning of the future, many people spend as they earn, okay? Some people don't save for retirement. They don't save any money when it comes to certain things. They end up realizing they have nothing, they don't have anything for like emergency savings, okay? Like when somebody goes to, like when someone gets their paycheck, right? You're supposed to save at least 5% or 10% of your income into a savings account where no one can touch it regardless of any situation. No one can touch it. You do that to ensure that the money will increase in interest, okay? So when that happens, over a few years, you see your money like multiply, you know? But many of us in America, we don't live life like that. We spend as we earn, which is not good. It's not good at all because by the time you get older, okay, you're gonna hate working extra hours. Like when you're young, right, you can work 40 hours, 60 hours, even 80 hours with no problem. You can do it like it's nothing, okay? By the time you get older, you're gonna hate working extra hours. Like even me, I have worked a job where they had lots of overtime. When I was younger, oh my gosh, it was so cool. Pretty much in my 20s when I was doing that shit, in my 20s, I was working overtime like it was nothing. I didn't care about socializing. I didn't care about nothing. I just cared about making that money, right? But as time went on, I realized this overtime shit is annoying because it takes a physical and mental toll on your body, okay? It's not healthy. Trust me when I tell you, it's not healthy working overtime. So just imagine someone now in their late 40s to early 50s doing that shit. You know, that would annoy them. You know? So you have to understand that. Then you have to look at it from another perspective, that a lot of people didn't think that retirement would be a big deal. Some people feel like, I'm just gonna save a little and I'm just gonna chill, and or when the time comes I'll think about retirement. And now it's here, and now it's frustrating, because now you have these older workers, they now have to rejoin the workforce at a lower pay. Because when it comes to the high paying jobs, when I say high paying jobs, I mean a job that pays at least 80 grand or more. Okay? Many companies are not hiring them, regardless of their experience. They're not hiring them. So now you have these older workers, they now have to work at these low end jobs to sustain themselves. Like they have to work at Walmart. For example, when you go to almost every Walmart I've been to, the greeters are usually old. Sorry, I mean, not old per se, but older workers. Like they're usually like in their 40s and above, usually. Okay? And being a Walmart greeter, they don't pay shit. Period. They don't. So you have to understand where the economy is going. You know? You have to understand where the economy is going. So that's why I tell you guys, the economy we live in today is catering towards the younger workers. Anywhere between 21 through like 40. That's who they're targeting. Okay? They are targeting that market. So that's what people need to understand. Then you have the cost of living increase. Based on where you live, the cost of living plays a big role into a person's savings. Right now, you have people like, to live in Seattle, you have to spend a minimum, for a good location, you have to spend a minimum of $1,200 a month for a decent location. Okay? In some places, you gotta spend $1,300, if not $1,400 a month. Some people like can't even afford the property tax on their houses. They can't afford it. So now they're forced to sell. And some people today have a fixed income, but property tax has increased. So now they're forced to sell. So this is what you guys need to understand. The economy today is pushing people out. If you're not you have to have more than enough in the savings account. You can't live here anymore. You can't live here comfortably. There are some Americans, even some people in the UK and some Canadians, who take their retirement money and they go to like a Dominican Republic. Okay? Some are going to these like Latin American countries because they can live off $4,000 like it's nothing. Okay? 4,000 US dollars can take you far. It really can. Like just 3,000, like 3,000 pounds. Take that money to like Mexico, or take it to like a Dominican Republic. You can live comfortably. You can live a good life. You can chill. You can relax. Life continues because you can afford it. If you live off $4,000 in the United States today, you're not going to have much disposable income. Okay? You're not going to have a lot of money to be spending, because the $4,000 is going to cover like your rent, your food, then, your car, your transportation. Then how much money do you have left over after that? So you're not going to really get the best of your money if you retire in the US on a $4,000 monthly pension or retirement payment. It's not going to do much for you. So you need to understand like what's really going on out here, because the thing that's so frustrating to me sometimes is that the information we have in the United States is not hidden. It's just that people don't read it. Okay? I'm not even in I'm not even in my retirement stage yet, but I know what's going on. I'm only in my early 30s and I can't even find a good paying job. In my early 30s. Can you imagine that? So just imagine someone older than me, you know? So people need to understand how things work. People need to understand how things work and how things can be operated for their own benefit. Because at the end of the day, if you're not successful in the United States, you're going to be struggling. And people don't want a burden around them. You know what I mean? They don't care if you're successful or not. They don't want a burden. Many people don't want to take care of other people in the United States. So let me just say this. Sometimes if you don't have money, you're going to find yourself in a nursing home. I don't mean those fancy, expensive ones. I mean those cheap ones where they don't give a damn about you. That's what's going on in the United States today. So people need to understand what's going on out here and be more aware, because at the end of the day, nobody cares anymore about anything. You know? Nobody cares anymore if someone is struggling. Nobody cares anymore if you can't pay your rent. Nobody really cares anymore. If you're not successful in this country, no one will take care of you. That is why if you look at some of these other cultures, when it comes I know I can say in some African cultures and Asian cultures too. Okay? Many parents, they can retire once their kids start working. Because you have to understand something. In some of these other countries you go to, their economy is really cheap. They have a cheap economy in these other places. So kids can, or adults, can give their parents like 10% of their income if they wanted to, and it's not going to affect their pockets. You know what I mean? It's just like, let me give you an example. It's like, for example, if a person is working a job and their parent is about, let's just say, 55 years old, okay? About 55 years old, you have this person who's making, let's just say, for example, like 15 grand a month. Okay? About 15 grand a month. He has no problem in giving his parents like 2 grand or 3 grand on a monthly basis. You know what I mean? Because in these other cultures, they don't want their parents working, because this is how these cultures work. I know in Africa and parts of Asia it's like this. Their parents are usually the working class. You feel me? Like they're the working class. They spent most of their time helping their children to get a better future. So by the time these kids become successful, they tell their parents, doesn't matter how old they are, they tell their parents, you know what, stop working. I'm going to give you I'm going to give you a monthly allowance. Okay? When that happens, sometimes the parents may live with their children, or their children will buy them a house like close to them. You know, it could be like a 60-mile drive away from them. You know, so you know what I mean? So that is their retirement plan. Their retirement plan is their children. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to these other cultures. They take care of each other. Okay? They take care of each other. So you have this thing where, that's why they say all the time, be nice to people, so when you need help, they will help you. But in America, it's not like that no more. But Let me know what you think. Peace.